Lord of Omens, give me sight beyond sight. Beyond sight. Beyond sight.
Yeah, let's go. It is Sight Beyond Sight. We're here on a Tuesday night watching a shitty ass horror movie with my wow, I can't even speak today.
Yeah.
With your boy Andrew, Nick, co-host. I smacked Marissa's mic as I introduce her because I'm just out here right now. It's been a minute since I did an opening and shit. We're about to break down the movie The Hunted, I think it was called. Yeah, that's a shitty movie. Doesn't even matter the name.
It's on Shudder.
Yeah, Shudder gave us the opportunity to waste hour and 40 minutes of our life, and we took it. So
thank you for the opportunity, Shudder.
Yeah, like basically we're just gonna get right into the breakdown of it. I can leave it up to Nick because I'm not breaking down shit of this movie.
Yeah, I'll do a quick little breakdown. Basically, this movie is basically this girl goes into a nightclub and she gets trapped. Well, not trapped. She was gonna leave with this guy, even though she had a what it seemed like a boyfriend. They never explained that.
Nah, boyfriend was the nigga that was in the club. He was the one.
No, but on the phone that she left her phone.
Okay.
Because we'll go scene by scene. I'm just trying to do a quick review. So she goes to a club. These guys are gonna come and like she was gonna hook up with one guy, then another guy comes in a car, and after that it was just dumb decision after dumb decision. And basically they try to get her. She leaves. They let her leave. She goes into a gas station, gets a guy killed. They get her again, and basically they're going to make a snuff film with her and put her in the back of the trunk, go into the woods, and then from there, that's the whole movie. They're in the woods and she's running and the villains are running, and then stupid shit happens, and then more stupid shit happens, and then it gets funny, to be honest. Like the last half hour is kind of funny.
Yeah.
Like as soon as she starts getting her balls, so to speak, and he starts hallucinating, and then they go into an open house at night and then they start fighting.
Yeah.
It was kind of funny, but all in all, disappointing.
Yes.
So you want to break down the scenes, Marissa?
Yeah. So it starts off where it looks like she's either, they don't really explain it, but she's at a contracting site and she's supposed to be explaining something to someone who works there, whatever. And they're obviously not taking her seriously because she's a little blonde French girl and nobody wants to listen to me. Wow. So it already shows her lack of authority, her kind of her being a little weak-minded, I guess you could call it.
Yeah.
So she goes home to, I guess, just relax, and her boyfriend is apparently badgering her, and she ignores him, and she decides to leave her cell phone at home and walk to like a nearby bar.
I think it was the hotel.
Badgering. I just want to point
go
that
ahead.
out.
It doesn't matter.
He was caring. He asked if she was okay, and that's badgering. Jesus.
Well, yes. But in her mind, he was badgering her for some strange reason. So no, she goes to, it's not in her hotel.
I thought it was a hotel, but okay.
No,
It looked like a hotel or a house, some shit like that.
But you gotta remember it's a foreign film, so their houses look like our hotels.
Yeah, pretty much.
So first dumb decision, leaves her cell phone. Instead of shutting it off, she just leaves it at home.
Right.
And then goes to a club by herself.
A club, bar, whatever.
The fuck
and which is fine. You know, I guess a girl can should be able to go to a bar or club by herself and not
Marissa.
be bothered. Whatever. Like I said, I don't think I could do it, but I guess there's people who do. Anyway, so she's at the bar and the guy, it's like you see a guy at a club or a bar and they're doing weird dance moves when you're with your girls dancing in a circle with your purses in the middle. And you
I've been that guy.
And you're just like, ugh, stop, guy. And she's witnessing all this. And instead of turning her back and just drinking her drink by herself like she wants to really do.
No, she didn't really want to do that, Marissa. She was asking for it.
No.
She was looking for attention.
Some other more annoying guy comes up to her and starts harassing her, who is far too drunk. And this guy sees that advantage and swoops in to be her savior.
Mhm.
He starts to be charming. He starts to talk her up, get her drinking, get her dancing, and then says, okay, let's go. And they start making out in the backseat of what seems to be his car. But then all of a sudden somebody else comes into the driver's seat, and then they take off. Now, instead of saying, let me out the fucking car,
Right
like I'm
away.
not going anywhere with
Mhm.
you, she is like,
Huh? What?
yeah.
What's going on? Huh? What?
She was in shock.
Wait.
Why you gotta
Wait,
like,
huh? Who?
She went she's already given it up on the first night. All right. So
She's
this is
French.
why
She's
girls
French.
don't give it
She's
up on the
French.
first night, apparently.
No,
She's
don't
French.
don't say it's French. There's a
Yeah.
lot of girls that do that.
So like that was already happening.
Yeah.
Now she in the car and she like, oh, this guy jump in. Like he could have already been just the driver. Like he could have been just like, oh, I'm gonna take you out to the spot and be what it is. She ain't know. She's French, like you said. They're not all there, but yeah, there's a lot of shit that just
So sorry. But so instead of like just jumping out of the car, well, I guess she tried to attempt to, but there was child lock.
at a second, yeah, she had the little
Now, they made a point in the very beginning of the movie to show that she is fit. She's like running on a treadmill, shows her like exercise routine. So you know that she's not weak, you know? She's
physically
like she can
in shape,
yeah.
shape-ish.
right. And she's wearing like, it's not like she went to the club in some like hooker boots and like, you know, short skirts. She went in like her basically like just regular clothes and her boots.
yeah,
She
was
did have like
comfortable.
a sleeveless shirt though, like the how the sleeve goes down.
So she
there.
can't show arms.
Yeah, you know how you trying to show skin and all that
Jesus
stuff.
Christ.
Can't even
She
show
went in
arms
like her
anymore.
pajama
Women's
shirt and
rights.
she just threw jeans
No,
on
that
over
wasn't-
her pajama shirt and ran out.
I agree.
So they wind up letting her out of the car. And my initial reaction is, you walked to this bar. They only drove like, I don't know, 4 minutes, 5
You
minutes.
can say
Yeah.
that 5 minutes. It's around a couple of miles away.
So if that would have been me, as soon as I got out of the car, my ass is running back to my spot. Either if she doesn't want them to follow her to her house, running back to the bar, running somewhere. But she is like,
Walking.
I don't know, still in
Slowly
shock,
walking.
or slowly walking, whatever. And she just walks to the nearest gas station and tells the guy, instead of what I also would have done,
Mm.
call the boyfriend. Call the boyfriend and be like, hey, listen, I'm sorry I didn't answer your phone, but I need your help. Come pick me up.
Gotta
would've
remember,
left
she
her
left
there,
the
though.
phone though. She had no phone.
No,
It
but
doesn't matter.
She went to the gas station and the fat gay guy said he didn't have a phone for her. That was the whole reason why
That's
she
true.
ended up getting caught
Oh,
up. Yeah.
My fault. My fault.
See,
Oh no,
it's-
he didn't say that. She said, I'm gonna call a cab. And he said
Oh,
the
he said,
cabs
yeah,
are
there's
not
no
Yeah.
cabs gonna
or
come get
there's
you.
no
Yeah.
cabs running.
Yeah,
And he
nah,
was
that's a fact.
offering
Yeah.
her to take her home. And
Yeah.
then
another strange guy I offered her to take
Yeah.
her, and she
Like I said, but
accepts.
he was gay though. So,
yeah.
You
could
never
say-
know.
He was gay. He was
You
French
never know.
gay. It's different. But it's-
So then of course the two creepy guys show up again, and he plays like he's her boyfriend who they're fighting. So of course the attendant at the gas station believes him over her because she's not saying anything. She's just standing there shell shocked, which is completely frustrating. Like, you're not fighting at all. Like, you're not going, this guy's crazy, don't listen to him, blah blah blah. You're not looking for a weapon. You're not like at all. And
she was
she's just
weak.
standing there crying. And I'm like, what the when is she? Because now remember, the description of the movie kind of told us that there would be a point where she fights back. So I'm waiting. I'm waiting.
You wait a long time for that one.
Oh yeah.
Waiting and waiting. So they get her. So they wind up killing the gas station attendant, taking her, putting her in the trunk
Mhm. With a taser in it, by the way,
with a taser
and a cell phone.
and a cell phone. But they use the taser on her because she's a retard.
She's a retard.
and she goes into the trunk. The cell phone rings. She tries to answer it. They can't hear her because she's duct taped. Her mouth is duct taped. She's
Basically.
hands are behind her back, duct tape. Now, one thing we didn't mention is the beginning of the movie. There's a woman telling her son about a story about a
Oh, yeah.
woman who is in the woods that gets confronted by this troop of religious zealots.
Yeah, it was like a story that a mother was telling their son in the woods, because like you find out they're survivalists
Yeah.
until like later in the movie, but it was like right in the beginning. So the story was like you were just saying, it was like these zealots, and they go in the woods and all their followers are dying. Then they see a woman in the woods and they say,
And they're gonna
"Hey,"
eat her. They're
yeah,
gonna
we're
kill
gonna-
her and eat her.
and then she apparently has powers to control wolves.
She started
And-
singing. She had a melodic voice,
Um,
and the wolves came to save her, like these giant, let's call them dire wolves, but these giant wolves came and
killed the zealots.
killed all the zealots and saved her or whatnot. So we say that to say that once they're driving with her, they're driving towards the woods, and a boar out of nowhere goes darting out of the woods and into the middle of the street.
Where the evil guys have her in the trunk.
Yeah.
The boar comes out and then flips the car.
Yeah. No, well, the
Yeah,
boar
really, I
comes
would
out,
say
they
boar didn't flip it.
swerve, and it flips the car.
Fucking boar flipping cars. Like, Jesus Christ.
That would be amazing if it
Yeah,
was a
yeah.
gigantic boar and just kind of and just flip the car.
It would be cool. It would be.
And she falls out of the trunk, and instead of just getting up and running her ass off,
The way she came in, by the way.
yeah,
She-
she checks to see if they're still alive. And of course they're still alive, because it's a fucking horror movie. If that was the end of the horror movie, then there would be no movie. So instead of running the way that they came, she runs up a hill. And now I don't know if any of you have ever run up a hill before. Nevertheless, running up a hill not using your hands is almost impossible. It's very, very
I've
difficult.
done it like twice in my life.
Oh yeah, you've been tied up before?
No. But I've
We find
definitely
out.
tried to run up some hills without going the whole bear climb thing. I mean, you gotta try. Yeah.
So she finally gets up, and then now there's a chase through the woods. And now it's might be good to know to mention that there is the main bad guy who seems like he's a failed pornographer, I would say.
Yeah, in a way you could say.
and
like porn director more.
I mean,
Yeah.
rapey people have like odd fetishes, like so it's you could just be a rapist that likes to do
films.
film shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then he has with him his cohort that seems a little slow, maybe, or just maybe just slightly developmentally disabled or something. Not fully. I wouldn't say he was
He didn't
fully.
go full retard, no.
Nah, you never go full retard. Never forget that.
But so he's injured from the accident, and he's trying to keep up and everything else. And the girl seems to be successful running away as much as possible until they get to a cliff, and she throws herself off the cliff into a river.
Well, you're missing out a point.
Oh.
When she falls out of the trunk, she grabs the cell phone, which I thought was a good idea, but
Right.
ends up being a stupid
like
idea.
I said, you need a cell phone. You don't need it. Your hands tied up, your mouth is saved up. You in the woods. Who
Yeah, but
has service in the woods?
Yeah, nobody.
I have, when I go hunting, I get service.
You liar. And you're not really in the woods. You're upstate. You're like
Yeah, in the woods, in the mountains. You're
like
hunting the street.
this much of actual woods. You could find some
Really?
street. You're
People
fine.
get lost in that woods.
That's stupid.
It's a Mohawk Preserve.
It's
It's
racist.
fucking huge.
It's called Mohawk Preserve. It's racist. So
What?
let's
No, not
Mohawk.
But anyway, she grabs the cell phone, which I thought was a good idea, because once you get your hands free, you could call for help. But apparently, she's still running in. She tries to hide behind a tree, and the cell phone goes off because in the trunk somebody was trying to call, like Marissa said,
mhm.
and then they call again, and oh, there she is. So, okay, go ahead.
So she throws herself off the cliff, and she gets to like the shore or whatnot, and she sees like this weird, I guess it's a deer.
Oh, yeah.
It's just a
Yeah, it
deer
was
that
a deer. It was a female
big
deer. Just chilling.
doe, a deer. No. No. So then she decides to pet and hug this deer, and she sleeps next to this deer, and
Yeah.
it protects her throughout the night, I guess. That's what I'm guessing.
Basically.
So I'm guessing that the at this point you're realizing, okay, maybe the forest is like trying to save her because she's this damsel in distress, just like
girl
in the
from
story.
yeah.
Right. So then the next morning, you see that they're still searching for her. They get to the river and he goes to eat a Twix bar and he throws the wrapper in the river and it starts to make its way down the river. And as predictable as it is, of course, she is going the direction that the wrapper came from because she's not paying attention to her surroundings. She's just going.
Mm-hmm.
And so she is on the opposite side of the river, but they see her. She doesn't see them. And they go after her again. And again, she's running uphill because I guess wherever they are, there's only uphill.
Yeah. And just to tell you guys, throughout the movie, when she's like, oh, she's going the direction that they're at because she doesn't know where they are and she doesn't know her surroundings, she's walking very gingerly in the woods like nothing matters. So I feel like you should be able to, like, if you're scared and you're like, holy fuck, these people are after me, wouldn't you be looking all over? You're right.
I mean, you would unless
They're
you
right
think
there.
you kind of got away. Every time they did a break point, she had like that, I got away second, and then would wake up and then try to move slowly and da-da-da. Like,
Yeah.
you know.
Ridiculous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and with the slow guy and his injury, which they duct tape because, you know, you duct tape every major injury you have.
Yes.
Yeah.
So he sees her and he goes after her first, and then the other guy follows. And as he's going up the hill, she does the first smart thing and grabs a gigantic rock and hauls it at his head and like catches him square in the face. It's
Funny as
awesome.
hell.
And it was so funny. Just the way that, and the one thing I have to say about this movie though, the sound effects of like the squishiness and like all that stuff like that, like to me that was like really, really well
They focused
done.
on those little things besides the actual storyline.
Yeah.
That's true.
Put in sound effects.
So the chase goes on for quite a bit, blah blah blah. They don't catch her, and you know, the guy who gets hit in the face lost some teeth, broke his nose, he's messed up. So he's trying to get the guy to help him, and the guy, instead of helping him, starts to, I guess, make fun of him or like yell at him.
Yeah.
Well,
He says
wait,
something
the
to him.
retarded guy or the other
Yeah,
guy?
No, the failed porn director makes fun of the retarded guy, and then
He
the
did make fun
retarded
of
guy
him.
goes and chokes him, and he's just like, "Oh, I'm sorry," kind of thing.
And then he goes, "I'm going to help you fix your nose." Tells him he used to be an EMT and proceeds to duct tape
His
his
whole fucking
entire face.
Pretty much.
And then instead of just like killing him like that, the guy goes and runs after him and smashes his face directly into a tree,
Which
Yeah.
was funny.
which was hilarious. And then what really got me angry was he goes to finish him off and he goes to cut his throat. But instead of, because it's a horror movie, you would think, okay, they're going to show like the slashing of the throat and the blood going in. No,
Nope.
no, they just decide to focus on the killer's face, which is what we want to see in every horror movie.
Yes.
It's retarded.
Yep.
So as it goes on and on and on and on and on, they finally get to the bad guy finally gets to a camp. He sees somebody walking in like a ghillie suit. A ghillie suit is basically like a suit that helps you blend into nature.
Camouflage.
Yeah, it's camouflage. And he's like, "Oh my God, I finally found somebody." And you see him like rehearsing what he's going to say to her. So he comes up with this story that he lost his dog in the woods and that he needs help getting back to civilization. So she invites him back to the camp. And then it reveals that it's the same woman who told the story to her son earlier in the movie. And now the son is a teenager and she's an older woman, and they're basically survivalists. And he says some weird shit to like he pretends to call his wife to tell her about the dog. The kid realizes immediately that he didn't really make the phone call. He says some real creepy shit to the kid about watching pornography.
Like watching porn. Well, it is what it is, I guess.
Yeah,
Apparently.
he's like obsessed, and he doesn't try to hide his creepiness really at all,
Nah, he
besides
didn't
that
already.
initial
Yeah.
phone call. And they're sitting around eating this rabbit that the woman caught, and he gets up to go to the bathroom or something, and grabs an arrow and sticks the arrow through the mother's ear and killing her. And the son, who's supposed to be raised as a survivalist, freezes, completely freezes, and basically is made to like do everything that this guy says to do. So the girl happens upon the same campsite, and sees the boy, goes running up to the boy, but then looks down and sees the blood on the floor and the woman on the ground, and she gets attacked and tied up. And now this crazy person is trying to create a snuff film with this teenage boy and this woman tied up. So
he's basically the whole gimmick, because the main killer, he had that special guy that he killed earlier in the movie, but I think his whole thing is he wanted to film someone else raping and killing the girl, basically. And it's like a thing in the movie where it's like almost like he gets excited, but he can't get excited himself. You know, like he's a little
voyeuristic, maybe.
Yeah, like he gets off on other people doing it, or probably rewatching it, than rather him doing it himself.
Yeah, because they showed also like throughout the different nights him watching the videos on his camera, so he's obsessed with it. So so what winds up happening is the boy, he tries to make the boy rape the girl, but as he's standing next to the girl, a huge ass crow goes onto the kid's head, and you're like, me for one was like, oh, please don't poke out this kid's eyes, please don't poke, it's not his fault, and then it attacks the bad guy, and the bad guy drops his camera into the fire pit, and the girl has a rope long enough to reach the lady, and she takes out her huge ass Bowie knife.
Yeah, the dead survivalist lady.
Right. And begins to like cut her rope. And the kid doesn't even attack the guy. The kid still stays frozen.
He grabs the guy's leg.
Oh yeah,
that's when he gets kicked.
Yeah, and then he grabs the guy's leg and the guy kicks him in the face. And then finally, the woman bites her way out of the ropes, which is hilarious to me.
But you're missing the best part.
Oh, my fault.
Is when he tries to go tase her and falls on the lady and brings her back to life.
All right,
wait. Sorry, I forgot about that part.
So what you're saying is the main protagonist, she's tied up with a rope, like a noose around her neck kind of thing, but tied to a tree like a dog. She goes to the old lady's body, gets a knife, tries to cut it. The guy comes after her. She got a big ass knife now and goes like this. He side kicks it out of her hand like a fucking retard. Goes to get his taser again and trips and tases the dead body. And then you can explain what happens.
She's alive.
Yeah, and then she comes back to life. And what was funny is we called it, or somebody called it.
I said zombies.
And it said zombies. And she rose up like a zombie. It was like, what the?
With a big ass arrow in the fucking
It wasn't that deep. It wasn't that deep.
Yeah.
It really wasn't.
It touched her brain.
Retarded.
And then she goes up to her son, who is now freaking the fuck out, pulls out the arrow, and blood squirts out of her ear. And what did she say to him?
She didn't say nothing. She was just looking at him, and like from there it was one of those.
Oh,
I understand. Like,
yeah, she hands him the arrow, basically like telling him like kill this motherfucker kind of thing, or as I like to say, avenge me.
Yeah. That's all it was. She couldn't say nothing. She got stabbed in the ear. She was already half retarded after that. And you come back to life from like getting like tasered.
Yeah,
it's like a fake ass Jason movie or something.
It was terrible.
Yeah.
So then he chases them because the other two are running after each other. He chases him, and he's got the high ground, and he's got his quiver with his bow and arrow, and he shoots the dude. And now you would think a survivalist has good aim. Yeah, no, he just shoots him through the shoulder, and that's it. And doesn't try to shoot him again.
I just like how you got to watch the movie to understand it. He's trying to shoot the main villain, this little like a teenager boy, He shoots him. He shoots him once, looks, kind of like looks away, and then he's just like, you don't see him for the rest of the movie. Like you would have thought, like you killed my mom. I'm chasing your fucking head. Like,
Nah. I mean, he should have chased him, yeah, but at the same time, it's like let that be. Like that shit already fucked up your
he
life.
killed your mom.
Your mom got killed. Your mom got killed, my nigga.
You're
Like
gonna let it be?
you gotta go bury her now.
No.
Like,
No.
You're gonna
If
say
it
no.
was your mom,
ain't got
you
no
would
time
still
for that
go to
shit.
try to kill that guy.
I ain't got no time to run down.
Yeah,
some
he
dude
he
in
said
the fucking.
he would.
Nah,
He's
I
just
don't
acting
have
stupid
time
right
for
now.
that. I'm dead ass serious. I have no time for that shit. Like that's some crazy white people shit that's happening right there. This lady, she out here running, screaming. He's screaming.
And this is when the
I'm
movie
not
gets
saying-
no, but this
I'm
is
not
where the
saying
funny
to
gets.
save the girl. He
No,
killed your mother.
yeah,
you
You wouldn't
basically
go
saving
after
the
him.
girl if you go after him.
Okay, you're
By
but
default.
that's not your point. Your point. This guy just killed your mother in front of your fucking face. You're telling me you personally
I don't think that
would
was his
not
mom.
go.
But, all right.
He said
Nah,
no.
I don't. All right, but you know.
And then you
Old ass lady
personally
grabbing
wouldn't
kid.
go like, I'm gonna kill this motherfucker. Not for the girl
One
that's running.
personally, I would have shot him better in the fucking shoulder.
So
like,
he's
There you go.
bullshit.
like, who the fuck shoot somebody in the
He's
shoulder? Like, if you have an
bullshit.
arrow, at least hit the gut. Like, make them bleed out.
So this is where the movie kind of gets funny because somehow he starts to hallucinate things.
Yeah, I don't know. It's weird because the guy who got injured, the retard from the beginning, who was his partner, he got injured worse than this guy, and bled out more, and he didn't go crazy. And this guy's going
But
crazy.
if he did put something in his mouth, I'm not sure if it was like a belt to rip out the arrow or do whatever he did,
yeah, he
or
did.
it was
yeah,
like an acid trip type shit.
I
But
thought it was like a pack of cigarettes that were bad.
yeah, it was
Threw
like
it out.
some random shit like that. But then
Oh.
it leads to him having those trippy moments,
Yeah.
and then you see, which was at first I really thought it was people with guns,
Yeah,
and then it turned into paintballers.
They
Yeah.
were
Which I was like,
running-
who the fuck just paintball in the
running
middle
through
of nowhere?
woods, just randomly. Like
Yeah.
there's no.
No, but what
Fucking
was
rhyme or
great
reason to
about
it.
that is okay, right before the paintballers come in, he's tripping balls, right? And she all of a sudden decides she's gonna attack him, and she has this long ass branch,
Mm.
and she runs for a good long while
You see
before she, because he
'Cause
doesn't
was
think it's
bugging.
real.
He
He doesn't think it's
bugging.
real. So she's running and he's going, you're not there. And then she whacks him across the face with this branch. And he goes, ow, that hurt.
Yeah.
Like if it was nothing. Because when I tell you this girl is frail, she's tiny. First time I saw her, I was like, this bitch needs to get off the treadmill and eat a burger because she is way too small. So now she's on that kind of offensive mode.
Yeah.
So he starts to run, and then he starts to see the paintball people, and she's running after him. And we all think the paintball people
Or
are
fake.
are fake. And then she gets blasted
Yeah,
in the forehead
That was a great
by
shot.
a paintball.
Yeah.
And nobody goes up to her
It
to be
was
like, "Oh, my bad," like shit.
Nah,
It was just like, no,
you're part of
we're
the
going
game.
now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
fuck it.
It was so bizarre. So they run into first a cornfield.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because
yeah,
basically she's like you said she's on the offensive. So now she's chasing him down with this big battle axe of a stick, and he's running. So it goes from paintballers to forest, a little bit more forest, to a cornfield where it looks like they just circled each other and
Pretty
then
much.
they
Yeah.
ran back out.
And then somehow they got to some sort of like new condo development that was still like under construction. And of course, the bad guy comes out first,
Mhm.
and a security guard finds him. And the girl comes running up, and she looks like a psychopath straight up because she's got blue paint on her face with a stick. And
Looking like fucking Braveheart.
and the guy winds up hitting her, right? The security guard winds up
Nah, basically.
No, bases her. Like
oh,
he
maces
stops
her.
her.
That's right. He maces her.
because she looks like a fucking psychopath.
Right. And then the bad guy gets up, takes the stick that she drops, and whacks the security guard in the face,
breaking his nose.
And then they run into what appears to be an open house in
Definitely
progress,
was. It definitely was.
but it's pitch black outside.
We don't know if it's daylight savings. I was on
Plus,
So
it's
it
on the
could
other
be
side
5
of the world.
o'clock.
Yeah, it could have been only 5 o'clock, a normal time for people to look at shit. You know?
Yeah.
So
So they're
happens.
looking at all this, and what's funny is like one of the walls is completely glass looking out, and the girl like runs up to the glass, and you see her all crazy, and the real estate guy turns the the people around like, okay, you don't see that. But then they come rushing into the house. They're fighting in the house,
breaking shit.
The real estate agent runs out of the house, leaving there's like a pregnant woman and her husband or some shit. And they're fighting all through the house, in the bathroom, choking each other with the shower head.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Beating up each other throughout the house. Then we
Yeah.
got to the security guard getting up, and he gets the wolf dog, basically.
Lobo,
Like,
son.
apparently he had Lobo, which is a fucking wolf-looking dog. Convenient for what the movie started as.
Right.
Like, honestly, you would have thought we would have seen some type of werewolves in the woods or some
Yeah.
shit.
Right.
you know, like,
Right. No, they
like-
saved that for the end for the
Yeah.
security guard to release the hounds from his van. And it goes directly to where they are
Yeah.
and attacks the guy. And then the girl gets on top of him with her tiny ass fist. It was like a little baby fist.
It was angry fist.
It was an angry baby fist, and just punching him, doing literally nothing to his face.
Yeah, he was just saying, "I'm sorry." You know, I really believed him after like the third hit.
Fucking idiot.
He was probably enjoying every moment of that.
Nah,
little
he
fist
was, because
fight.
it did have like it had like a weird edit cut where
Yeah,
it went to like a red thing, and yeah, it's like it's one of these movies where they just think they're smarter than what they are.
Yeah.
Honestly.
And then so then she chokes him
Chokes him to death. Yeah.
with her baby hands,
Baby hands.
all while the wolf is like staring at her.
Yeah. So basically, yeah. So the whole climax of the movie is the wolf like, I'm thinking, oh, the wolf's gonna kill the guy for her,
Nah, he just saying.
and then he just bit him once and he gave up.
Mhm.
Like, all right, I'm sorry. And then she climbs on top of him slowly, like she was about to ride him, and then starts punching him
Yeah.
like 4 or 5 times, again with her baby fist. Then he's like, I'm sorry. And then she decides to choke him, and apparently choked him to death. And he, like, you know, those weird cuts and edits, like when she's punching him, she shows her like rage face, like a cut of her rage face. And then when he's getting choked to death, he's having like this orgasmic enjoyment out of it.
It's all
Yeah.
happening. Shit.
And
It's
then
weird. It's very weird.
roll credits.
And then nah, not roll credits. She was running in the woods because now she's a fugitive. We're gonna have a sequel.
It was-
Too.
And then it went credits. It was just
It
stupid
was
as fucking ending.
so reading what the description was, I thought it was going to be what Andrew has been wanting to see,
Yes.
and it
Fight
being
back.
a fight back kind of movie. And it wasn't a fight back until the last like 15 minutes,
Yeah.
but it was not even realistic, not
Nah,
even a little
It was
bit.
too long of them running through the woods. Like literally the whole mid movie is fucking like you could have cut it in half
Yeah.
because it was stupid. It was pointless to lead to where it got to. Like
Yeah.
And the
It made no
survivalists
made no
should have
sense.
done more. Like you're a
Yeah.
fucking survivalist. Like,
Like you live in the woods, you're hunting rabbits and shit like that. Like,
and she obviously didn't believe what he was saying.
nah, she didn't. That's what ended up getting her killed. Like they had their little interaction with the eye shit, and
Yeah,
then
yeah.
like, wow, she got stabbed in the back of the head. Which that's when you should really be mad. Like you want to argue with me about the son being pussy about shooting an arrow.
Yeah.
Nigga, you sitting there, and,
I
you know,
didn't say
watch your
he's
mom.
pussy about shooting.
Nah, he
I
pussy
said
about shooting these arrows.
I didn't say
Alright?
that.
But he
I
gonna
said
sit
that he
there,
should have
and
fucking
he's
killed the
watching
guy.
his
Yeah.
mom like, "Oh, mom, I'm gonna let this nigga stab you while I'm sitting here eating rabbit with you."
Yeah.
Like, come on, you should have been
My
like, "Mom,
headphones
duck,
on."
move." Like, come
Yeah.
on, something like
Yeah,
Yeah.
something.
that was how
Like
I
where
knew
was
that kid
his
soft.
where was
Yeah.
his Bowie knife? Because you know if they're survivalists, he had to have
Basically.
had his own Bowie knife. She's not gonna just do all the work.
Yeah,
Like she
And-
had to have been teaching him something.
Are you mad that no one fell down the stairs in this movie?
I'm actually surprised
Or
that there
down
was
a
nobody.
hill.
Nobody
No.
fell down a hill. Nobody fell down some stairs. There wasn't somebody sleeping in bed.
Oh,
Like,
there was
there's just-
nobody. There was no invalid in
Like
this
out of
movie.
all
No,
these,
no, no.
the 3 movies that we've done so far, because I don't watch these horror movies, I just come off and watch what they watching. I
And we
didn't.
regret watching this one.
Yeah,
I'm
this-
sorry.
This one
Out
was
of
the worst one.
our,
Yes.
our 1 to 10
Yes.
scale, this to me was a 1.
Yeah, I'm done with this. Like, I
Yeah.
don't even want to watch this again.
Like
I'll
this
never
one
watch
goes
it again.
Yeah.
straight to the trash.
Yeah.
To make
Straight
me
to the
watch this
trash.
again is a torture film. Like,
Yeah.
now you're just trying to fuck
Yeah.
me
So
up.
now I know that next time that if I ever want to torture you for information, I will put on this movie again.
Watch this goddamn movie.
No, there's no logic.
So again, we ask, we really beg you, give
Find
us
us a
something.
goddamn good horror movie.
Yes.
Come on. We're trying to. We want to get creeped out. God
We're gonna
damn
figure it out. I'm gonna get back on Twitter soon. I got some arthritis.
it.
We lost a couple of people because they got mad at my AEW reviews and shit. But I'm about to be back on Twitter hopefully tomorrow and shit because my thumb's feeling a little better. But yeah, we definitely need some more insight because I don't watch horror movies. I just go off of their shit. And honestly, like I'm not gonna go and start looking for stupid ass horror movies to watch because I don't care unless you're actually an actor that's relevant or somebody that's seen as something.
Yeah.
Well,
I don't
give a
do shit
fuck
like
if
that.
you're a character or an
Yeah.
actor that's relevant. Just good horror movie.
There's no such thing
Good
as a good
horror.
horror movie.
Yes, there is.
No such thing.
Yes, there is.
I mean,
We-
back in the 80s, 90s, maybe, but
Well, we
No.
want to
Maybe
prove you wrong.
70s.
We want to prove that there
there
is
is
something
no
out there.
2000 and up horror movie that's good.
You don't think Conjuring? is
Or
so
Ah,
good?
those are
Insidious.
different. Those are different.
Sinister.
Why you gotta bring up? No, Sinister's trash.
You don't. The first Sinister?
Sinister's trash.
I like the first Sinister one. I
But
hate the
Conjuring
ending.
and Insidious
but-
is my shit. That besides that, I'm
Yeah.
good.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yes,
to think.
please.
You got scared of Paranormal Activity, even though that movie was kind of trash.
I only got scared because I do drugs. I mean,
So were you doing drugs watching the movie,
No.
or was
No,
it
I-
after the
what-
fact?
well,
We
one time I watched it sober. Then I decided to watch it dolo doing drugs. Worst decision.
wait,
ever.
no, but that wasn't the part that freaked him out. We went to the movie theater and watched it. We illegally downloaded it at the time,
Yes.
and it had a different ending.
Oh yeah, that
So-
too. Yeah.
So he
Fucked my
texted
head
me
up,
like,
yeah.
"Yo." I got so freaked out, like the fucking different ending. Because like I started
was in
thinking
this
like,
Hey, I'm high as fuck. Like I'm thinking it's gonna be the same shit. I was like, what the fuck is happening right now?
but yeah. So tell us some shit so we could actually enjoy ourselves watching the movie instead of
Yes.
hating the movie.
Yes.
And fuck it, we'll close this one out. Another
Yeah.
segment of In Search of Horror.
In search of some type of horror. Hopefully, the next one next Tuesday be a lot better.
Yeah,
Hopefully.
Maybe we
So,
get one with like a doll. Just
we can find doll ones. We
I
could
lo-
actually look that up.
I love
doll
little feet
movies.
running by. Those shit is fucking
And
hilarious.
with the little kid laugh.
Nah, I don't like the little kid. Like.
Or doing the tiptoe through the window dance.
No, see, why you gotta point out the little shit that that's something I would jump through a window for. I'd be like, nigga, get out my house.
I see. That's what a horror movie I would love to see is that you go through your living room and then you're like, "What?" You just throw yourself out the window. Oh
man.
shit! So we're gonna end this fucking episode. Follow us on YouTube, Spotify, SoundCloud, Anchor, Facebook, Instagram, and not Instagram, but fucking Twitter.
You can follow me on Instagram,
Uh,
smoking Ace 86. man.
And I hope you enjoyed this too because we did not enjoy the movie.
No.
Thank you.